It's that time once again. Hello, everybody. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper, and this is the Happy Camper Radio Show, episode 180. And I hope you brought your appetite along with you today because we're going to be talking about some delicious hot meal ideas when you go camping in the cold weather. I'm a cold weather camper. You already know that. But if you happen to venture on out, I can't tell you the importance of keeping warm both inside and out. I'll be sharing some of my wonderful meal ideas with you today on this edition of Happy Camper Radio.
Happy Camper Radio.
And of course, you can get the Happy Camper Radio Show anytime by calling 404-537-2267. That's 404-537-CAMP. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker, add us to Circles on Google+, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to www.happycamperradio.com. That's where you'll find all of our social media icons. They're on the right-hand side of the homepage. You click on any one of them, you'll connect up with us. And you know what happens when you become a member of our social media family. We give you a shout-out on the program. And I'm going to do that right now. Let's head on over here to the shout-out window and say hello to Michael McCoon of Shelbyville, Illinois. He likes us on Facebook. Charles Pascular, Chrysola Manika, John Gates of Brisbane, Queensland, the Gates RV Resort in Florida, Eileen Cotter-Wright, John from Atlanta, Georgia, Rangeland RV of Alberta, Canada, Steve Johnson of DeWitt, Iowa, Richard Burns of Albuquerque, New Mexico. They're all following us on Twitter. And finally, to Jerry Arnold, who added us to Circles on Google+. Thank you all so very much. Glad to have you on board. More importantly, thank you for being a part of this great Happy Camper Radio family. You can catch the Happy Camper Radio Show online. Just go to www.happycamperradio.com. Click on the podcast episode tab at the top of the page, and any one of our episodes dating back all the way to day one in 2013. You can listen to each and every one of those episodes. Take us out on the road with you, or just sit around at home when you have a cold day like today. It's awful outside here in the metro Atlanta area, I'm telling you. And the sad part about it is I'm on vacation this week. I really wanted to go camping. The only reason I did not go out of town is because this upcoming weekend, TSO is coming to town. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I get tickets to it each and every year. Folks, if you get a TSO concert coming into your area, definitely it is well worth the price. It's well worth the seat wherever you're sitting. A magnificent display, Christmas music like you've never heard before. It's a rock opera. And you can check out some of their videos on YouTube as well. But that's coming up this Saturday. So, yeah, I've got tickets, and I really didn't plan on going away. Kind of glad I didn't, being the fact that the weather is as ugly as it is. And it just works out that way for me sometimes. But warmer days are here ahead, and I'm sure there's going to be a few days where I can slip away and do some cold weather camping and take in some of these delicious hot meals, some of which I'm going to be talking about today. The greatest challenge to cold weather camping, I've got to admit, is keeping comfortable. It is always tough. You've got to be prepared. You've got to look at the forecast. You really need to know what you're getting into. You've got to stay focused on being warm, both inside and out. Now, fall and winter campers may find themselves spending more time at camp. In other words, you're not going to be going down to the swimming pool. You're not going to be going to the beach to soak up some sun. And long camping trips, long hiking trips, they're kind of out of the question. I don't know too many people who go wintertime camping and take in long hikes away from camp. It just doesn't happen. If you're not prepared, camping trips can turn into a disaster. Some first-time cold weather campers have tried it. They weren't prepared. They didn't have what they needed to get through the camping trip. And when they got home, they sat down and said, "No, I will never do that again." Take a look at what's ahead during a fall or wintertime camping trip. I didn't start out easy, all right? It didn't work that way for me. Yes, I had some rocks I had to stumble over, and I had been out there, I had done that, and there are some things that I will never do again. It's a learning lesson, and I don't care how old you get. I don't care how experienced of a camper you think you may be. But if you go fall and wintertime camping and you have everything in place, you looked at the forecast, you know what's ahead of you, know there's going to be a little bit of rain in the forecast and you're willing to tolerate that. Or if you know it's going to be bitterly cold outside and you know you've got your tent heater, you've got your clothes, you've got your long underwear, you got those wool socks, some heavy boots, a heavy coat, and you're all set, you're not going to have a problem. You're going to learn from experience. It's so important that before you go camping, I don't care if it's a 3-day trip, I don't care if it's a 7-day trip, monitor your 7-day forecast. And the easiest way to do that is go to NOAA.gov. That's the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration website. It's NOAA.gov. You can see what temperatures you can expect. You can see if there's rain and snow in the forecast. If you're going to plan a trip away from home, I don't care if it's in the fall, in the winter, the spring, the summer, make sure that your vehicle is prepared for the trip. This time of year, so important. Is your vehicle winterized? Have you checked your antifreeze? Have you changed the oil lately? Have you checked the air pressure in your tires? Are there any specific advanced preparations that you need to take before venturing out on one of these trips? Another thing, you've got to make sure that you have plenty of firewood on hand. There are several public and private campgrounds that are still open, and some of them are open year-round. Wherever you go camping, if you're going to be camping in the fall or winter, make sure that you have plenty of firewood handy to get you through your entire trip. Here's some other things you want to consider too. If you're going to be taking your kids along, stop and focus on them before you do anything else. Make sure that you have plenty of clothing to keep them warm. Prepare for the unexpected. When you go camping with your kids, have plenty of hot chocolate. You can get the name brand if you want. I really prefer the store brand. You can get them with or without marshmallows, sugar or sugar-free. There's usually a box with about 10 in a package. All you have to do is add hot water. I usually keep a couple boxes in my container here. So whenever I decide to go camping, whether it be in the fall or the winter or spring or summer, if I'm up for some hot chocolate in the morning, all I got to do is break a package right out of the box. You can do that, or you can get a container of the chocolate concentrate and just add some hot milk. However you want to do it, it'll work, believe me. Have plenty on hand, and the kids love it. It keeps you warm and comfortable inside, especially this time of year. And speaking of the holidays, you know, holidays are just around the corner here, and then consider some hot apple cider. Buy a gallon jug of hot apple cider at your store. You can usually find it in the store's refrigerated section. And pick up a package of those cinnamon sticks. Heat up that apple cider on your camp stove. How about some hot tea and coffee? I don't go anywhere without coffee. Yes, coffee is a must for me anytime I go camping. I don't care what time of the year it is. You can bring along some cream, sugar, some artificial sweeteners. I have all of them with me. Tells you just how organized I try to be anytime I go camping. Think about how many days you're going to plan away from home. How much food are you going to require? How much soft drinks, how much coffee, how much hot chocolate or hot tea you're going to need? Consider the individual consumption, multiply that by the number of people in your camping party. You never want to run out of anything. Be sure that you buy enough when you go to the grocery store and never, ever think about running short. All right, let's talk about breakfast here for a moment. When you get up bright and early in the morning, all right, you got to camp, maybe you got there a little bit late, and you set everything up. Everything is falling into place. You got the tent all nice and heated. Everybody is snuggling in their sleeping bag, and you're going to get up bright and early in the morning to cook breakfast. Now, let me tell you what my idea of breakfast is in the morning, the very first day at camp. I usually get up about 4:30 in the morning. Some people may think I'm a little crazy for doing that, but I love cooking breakfast in the dark. I like being the first one out of my sleeping bag. And I'm thinking back now to the days when I had my young children and my nieces and nephews and relatives, and we all gathered together at a campground. I always loved being the camp host. and that meant getting up early in the morning to cook breakfast. Pancakes is always a favorite of everybody. Anytime you go camping, have a couple boxes of pancakes ready for breakfast early in the morning. It's guaranteed to roll the campers right out of their sleeping bag and draw them directly to the picnic table right outside their tent. It works every time. Definitely get a box or two of your favorite brand. You can mix it up with some water if you want to get that type of, or you can buy the kind that requires eggs, milk, and a little bit of oil to be added. Get creative at camp. I have no problem with that. So whatever you do, make sure you have some pancakes for breakfast, very first thing, your first morning at camp. Make sure that you bring along enough with you because a lot of your campers are going to be coming back for seconds and thirds. Have plenty of butter and syrup on hand. And again, you can choose your favorite brand and bring along a small saucepan too to heat up that syrup. If you're going to keep your syrup out or maybe in a storage box somewhere, it's going to be cold. You definitely don't want to be serving cold syrup with your hot pancakes in the morning. So if you have a little saucepan that you can bring along with you, you can heat up one of those on a separate burner and have them ready to go at the table when everybody comes rushing to the breakfast table. Now your pancakes, hey, you can top them off with bananas or strawberries or your favorite topping. You can add chocolate chips to the batter. Again, it's all about being creative. Ask the folks in your camping party what they would like. And believe me, it'll come out. Write those things down, put them in your smartphone, write them down on a tablet, write them on a piece of paper, and these are the items that you're going to be picking up when you go to the grocery store just before you head out on your trip. There's a lot of great foods you can cook at camp on a cold winter or fall day. Eggs and bacon. There you go, that's a natural. Cook up your eggs any way you wish and serve them piping hot. Feel like cooking an omelet? Think about some toppings that you can add. Personally, I like bacon bits. I like black olives. I'm not a big fan of onions, all right? I am not an onion guy. But if you like onions and you like some peppers and you like some things that you can toss in there to your omelet, go for it. Ask your folks in your camping party what they would like, and you're going to be the camp chef. You will have so much fun. Add in some hot breakfast biscuits if you have a way to prepare them. If you have one of those little camp ovens that fit on top of your stove, you can heat them up right there. They go great with eggs and bacon in the morning. You can buy them pre-cooked or pre-packaged in the store. Here's another breakfast favorite, and it's very simple to make. How about a bowl of oatmeal or a bowl of cream of wheat? Very wholesome. It'll fill you up, and it smells great, and it feels good going down. Now, if you're a Southerner, if you've been here in the South for a long time, grits are usually on the menu, but not everybody likes grits. This is a great Southern breakfast treat. You can buy it in a box. They're individually packaged. All you have to do is add some water. You can get some regular grits. They come with cheese, or you can add your own at mealtime. Again, not everybody's into that type of food, so it's going to be kind of a take it or leave it situation. But if you're here in the South, grits is a very popular item on the menu. How about French toast? Have you ever thought about making French toast? It's very simple to make. It helps if you have a griddle handy, and all you got to do is bring along some bread, some milk, some eggs, some butter. You can add some cinnamon for that extra flavor and top it off with maybe some powdered sugar and serve it up again with some hot syrup. These are some hot and tasty breakfast meals, and it's a great way to begin your mornings at camp anytime you go camping, spring, fall, winter, or summer. Let's talk about lunch now for a moment. Let's not forget about some of the snacks in between, and we'll talk about those in just a little bit. But right now, we're going to focus on lunch. Think about a hot bowl of soup. You're camping in the fall and winter, so yeah, you want to keep warm inside. Kids love ramen noodles. You can pick up a package of them for less than $1. There's about 6 in a pack. Buy 4 or 5 packs of those, and kids will love them. Believe me, I have my kids were just eating them left and right. You simply add water, some packaging of the flavoring, which is included, and you've got a nice hot meal for the kids to enjoy. Very simple and easy to make. Here's another favorite of the kids, and you can make this at camp just as easy as you make it at home. Kraft mac and cheese. Grilled cheese sandwiches. Oh, we're on the cheese kick today. you can make grilled cheese sandwiches. Again, if you've got a griddle that can sit on top of your stove, or if you want to get one of those fancy ones like I just bought, that works out well too. You can serve them up with French fries or maybe some baked beans. And, if you're just not into the hot foods all the time, you can always settle for some cold cuts. Pick up a pound of lunch meat, a pound of cheese, and you've got plenty of bread that you're bringing along. And maybe your kids are into sandwiches too for lunch. You can always make them as well. Burgers and hot dogs, my favorite. Grab some hot dog sticks. You can cook them over an open flame. If you're going to be cooking hot dogs on a stick over the fire, parents, please supervise your young children around the fire. So very important. You can cook those hot dogs up anywhere you want. Burn them up on a stick, however you want to do it. Have some hot dog buns, some hamburger buns handy. Just make sure you pick them up at the store as well. I'll tell you one of my favorite lunchtime treats that I have at least one day during camp. This is one of my favorites. I don't think everybody's going to go for it, but I'm going to throw it out there. Reuben Sandwiches. You know the ingredients of a Reuben sandwich. You got some sourdough bread. You got some corned beef, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, and Thousand Island dressing. You heat up the corned beef, add the Swiss cheese on top, throw the sauerkraut on there, heat that up nice and good, put them between the two slices of sourdough bread, and of course you're going to add the Thousand Island dressing. Yes, one of my favorites. I love Reuben sandwiches. And of course, let's not overlook your favorite canned food. Chef Boyardee has a lot of different food out there. If you just want to go ahead and throw some cans in the box and just break them open and heat them up in a pot, you can do that as well. There's a lot of good breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas out there. These are just some of the ones I'm throwing at you right now. But use your own imagination. Think about some things that you may want to have at camp on a fall or wintertime camping trip. Again, those meal ideas will start adding up. Let's talk about dinner now. Here we go. Spaghetti and meat sauce. A lot of folks that I know who prepare spaghetti sauce will make it at home and place it in one of those freezable 1-gallon bags and put it in their freezer until the time comes that they are packing up and going to camp. Then they will simply transfer that bag over to their cooler, and once they get at camp and they're ready to prepare spaghetti, all they do is break out that sauce, put it in a pot, heat it up. That's okay too. Me, I like to dabble a little bit at camp. I like to make my own spaghetti sauce with all the spices and everything right there on site. Spaghetti is a traditional camp treat. I usually have spaghetti as my first dinner time meal of camp, and everybody loves it. I make sure that I make enough, and usually I have people coming back for seconds and thirds. Spaghetti is wholesome, and it's a great meal to wind down the day. Now, if you're camping on a Saturday, steaks are usually great on the grill. If you have a way to prepare steaks, you can cook them on a grill, that's fine. But if you really prefer cooking like over some charcoals, or if you have a grill that you're going to haul into camp, you can do that also. But steaks are great for a Saturday night dinner favorite. You can cook them up just any way you want them. A lot of the campgrounds, both public and private campgrounds, have a grill already installed right there at the campsite. It's very important that you clean that grill up because the campers who were there before you did not clean it before they left. Most people don't after the last meal. So clean that grate up really, really good. Put your charcoal in there. You can heat that up and have your steaks on a Saturday night. I love steaks with baked potatoes. And if you have a way of cooking the baked potatoes, fine. Mashed potatoes work very well too. You can buy mashed potatoes in a box. You can make it from the concentrate. Or you can peel your own potatoes and heat them up right there at camp. I prefer that as opposed to the instant, and I had both already. How about tacos? Tacos are a great treat for camping. You can make them up just any way you want. You get the soft taco shells, the hard taco shells. Make sure you bring enough ground beef, the sauce to add to it, and mix that up in a hot skillet. Make sure you have some shredded cheese, some lettuce to go with it, and any of your favorite toppings. Think about what everybody may want on their tacos and make up some tacos for one of your dinner time treats. Think about some of your favorite ground beef recipes. There are hundreds of them out there. Do you like cooking ground beef and adding something to it? Think about what you may want, what the kids may want, and have that for dinner anytime you go camping. There's always a great way to spice up your dinner. Now, here's something else I want to point out. If you're planning a camping trip and you're not really sure about what you're going to buy for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I have had this problem for years. And I finally decided I really need to start sitting down and thinking about some of these meal ideas. This is just a short list of some of the ones that I just threw out here at you. I have a ton more on my smartphone. Now, I'm not a big fan of smartphones at camp. If you're going to use them to log your recipes, to log down your camp menu ideas, so when you go to the store, you know exactly what you're going to buy, you're going to be in and out, and you're going to be on the road to your camping destination, that's fine. But if you're going to be using your smartphone to start texting your friends, checking in with the office, I would say keep your cell phone or your smartphone at home. Very smart thing to do. But again, I have no problem with you logging some of your camp menu ideas as well as your recipes so you'll have them right there at hand when you're camping. I do want to point out, too, that it's important that you have a lot of munchies and a lot of snacks for the kids when you're camping, because there are going to be some in-between meal times where the kids are going to get hungry and they're going to be looking for something to munch on. So definitely have some snacks available, some chips. I like the white cheddar popcorn. I buy a couple bags of those and I take them out with me as well. Nachos with cheese are always great too. You could heat up that cheese sauce and pour them over top of nachos. Vienna sausages. You ever see those little Vienna sausages? You can get them for about 60 cents a can. I bring about a dozen of those with me because I am a Vienna sausage nut and fanatic. These are some in-between meal ideas for the kids, for yourself, anybody at camp. Because between meals, yes, some of us are going to get hungry. It may take a while, it may take a year or two, maybe even longer for you to perfect your camp menu ideas. A lot of them, just write them down. If you don't write them down, you're going to forget about them. You're not going to be thinking about them. And I have been here before, folks. I have actually gone into the grocery store the day I was taking off for a camping trip, and I was not prepared. I was asking myself as I was going up and down the aisle, what am I going to buy? What do I want for breakfast? What do I want for lunch? What do I want for dinner and in between? And I spent more time and more money in the grocery store because I was not prepared. If you have that list available, you can get in there, you can get out, and you can get on the road, and you can spend more time at your campground. That's where you really want to be. Not in the grocery store, not thinking about what you're going to buy, and not spending more money than you really have to. So yes, write down some of these camp menu ideas. Start a list today. It works well for me. Right now, it's fall and wintertime camping, and a lot of folks are bundling up. A lot of folks are sitting around the campfire, and are thinking about what they're going to have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. If you're still not sure what you're going to buy and what you're going to have to eat for your next camping trip, let me encourage you right now, get online and get Darren Kirby's book, Pie Iron Recipes. We had Darren on the show a couple different times, and you can listen to some of his episodes. They're right there. Just go to happycamperradio.com, click on the podcast episodes, and you'll find them right there. Delicious recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you don't have a pie iron, visit your local Walmart. You can pick one up for less than $10. Get one for everyone in the family. If you're interested in getting Darren's book, Pie Iron Recipes, visit his website, Darren Kirby, that's DarrenKirby.com, or you can find it on Amazon. It's time now for our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about fall and wintertime camping, and I'm going to take you down to South Florida because I probably made you all a little bit too chilly right now. We're going to go down to William P. Franklin North. It's part of Lake Okeechobee, run by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and guess what? This campground is open all year round. Visitors flock to W.P. Franklin Campground for its well-kept facilities and ideal placement on the Caloosahatchee River, where campers can fish, boat, and take it easy in sunny Southwest Florida. The campground is about 10 miles east of Fort Myers and provides visitors with a taste of tranquil, tropical country life. Nearby Telegraph Creek offers exciting opportunities to canoe Florida's backcountry swamps and view wildlife. The campground is almost completely surrounded by the Caloosahatchee River, with just a narrow stretch of land connecting it to the shore. The Caloosahatchee River is part of South Florida's Okeechobee Waterway and flows southwest from Lake Okeechobee to the Gulf of Mexico. Fishing for bass is popular, as is boating. A unique feature of the campground is its cruiser sites, where campers sleep on their boat while enjoying the perks of the campsite facilities. The 30 RV sites with 8 boat sites are equipped with electric and water hookups. A boat ramp and fishing pier are conveniently on site. There's a whole host of activities and amenities right there on their website. Now have a link to it all week long on happycamperradio.com. Also, check out the Know Before You Go items. This is so very important. And if you haven't already signed up for a recreation.gov account, here's a great opportunity to do so. On their website, in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a little tab there, Sign In or Sign Up. Click on that. Once you sign up for an account, it makes your reservation process at recreation.gov go so much smoother. I've used it so many times. It works great for me. If you're looking for an exciting place to go camping, say you're not into the fall and the wintertime camping like I am, that's okay. Just head on down to Florida and check out WP Franklin North. Open year-round, it is our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Skip Hubert. HappyCamperRadio.com.
And, of course, if you have a campground you would like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at HappyCamperRadio.com. Be sure to include a link to the campground website. And that's going to wrap up today's episode of the Happy Camper Radio Show. Now fire up that camp grill, put some hot food there, and be ready to feed the crew. Oh, I love camping. I love hot food. Remember, folks, every pet deserves a loving home. Do exactly like I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. You can find us online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker. Add us to Circles on Google+, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. And no question about it, my friends, hang around with me long enough, I will make a happy camper out of you. Talk to you again real soon. This is Happy Camper Radio.
Happy Camper Radio.